Hello, my name is Anna Schroeder, and I am a student at Carnegie Mellon University's School of Drama in the Theater Design and Production program, and today I will be taking you through the basics of how to create a theater design and production portfolio for college. So the first thing that we are going to be talking about is the format in which you want to present your portfolio. There are a couple different format options, but the main ones being websites, slideshows, and uploads. There are positives and negatives to each of these options, and so I'm just going to go over a few of them with you right now. The first format we are going to be talking about is websites. Some of the positives to creating a website is that anyone can access it, so it's a great tool to have going forward into a professional career, and it is easy to share and can be used outside of college applications. It is very professional and easily customizable. Some of the negatives to creating a website is that it is on the more complicated side to use and to figure out how to format, and it can cost money if you would like to pay for a website domain. Some good sites to check out if you'd like to create a website portfolio are Wix and Squarespace. Here are some examples of websites that the Carnegie Mellon Design and Production class of 27 have created. As you can see, you can divide the website up into sections, including an About Me section. You can provide a photo of yourself, your resume. You can provide information on stuff that you are currently working on, in case you might not have any portfolio-ready material to showcase, and of course, you can showcase your work and your portfolio materials. All in all, it's a great way to showcase yourself to colleges. The next format that you can use is a slideshow, and some positives to using a slideshow is that they are very easy to create, add text, and format. They are accessible and familiar to the typical high school student and are easy to work with. They are also easy to turn into PDFs, which makes the uploading process easy. Some of the negatives include that you can typically only showcase 1 to 2 images per slide, as the images can get very small and hard to understand. This can cause the slideshow to get lengthy and cause the viewer to be forced to scroll to reach other categories within the portfolio. Here are some examples of slideshows that the Carnegie Mellon Design and Production class of 27 have created. As you can see, they are divided up into sections and have text, images, and other important information, which we will talk about in the next part. You could also directly upload photos of your work into the site that the school is using. Some of the positives of doing this is that you can be very specific with what you want to showcase, and the files are more likely to be higher quality. But some of the negatives include not being able to organize your work in any way, only being able to include small portions of your work, as most schools have a limit on how many files you can upload, and not being able to explain to the viewer what they are looking at. Now that you have decided what format you would like to use, we're going to talk about what to include. So you're going to want to divide your portfolio into sections. Sections are going to be your best friend. They make categorizing your portfolio easier and make it easier to read. Some examples of sections would be stage management, design, and some miscellaneous work such as artwork, drawings, modeling, drafting, builds, really whatever you have. For stage management, some of the things that you'd want to include would be your shows. So you'd want to include some production photos to show the scale of the production and what it looked like. Paperwork such as daily calls, rehearsal reports, rehearsal calendars, any prop set, costume trackers, and any other paperwork that you might have created for the show. Then you're going to want to include some script examples, so some pages from your blocking script and your calling script. If you are showcasing design work, you are going to want to include process photos, such as drafting, magic sheets, photos of programming, sketches, materials, and anything else that was important to the process. And then you're going to want to, of course, include production photos or photos of the finished product. With all of the photos and documents that you've uploaded, you will want to provide a brief description of each photo/thing within the portfolio to explain to the viewer what they are looking at. If you are showcasing paperwork, it can be as simple as Sweeney Todd rehearsal report or the Crucible magic sheet. If you are showcasing design work, it might be good to include a description of the process. Examples are what you wanted the audience to feel while viewing the piece, why you chose certain materials, colors, shapes, and other design elements, what your thought process was behind the creation, what challenges did you face and how did that influence the design, or anything else you think is important to communicate to fully understand your design. With that, you have created a basic theatrical design and production portfolio. It is important to note that this is just a guide and you are free to follow or deviate from the structure as much or as little as you like. It is also important to pay attention to what each school you are applying to wants from your submission. Some schools ask that you submit your full portfolio, other schools ask you only submit a certain amount of photos. If a school asks you to only submit a portion of your portfolio, it is important to research the school and to see what they value. If they have a program that caters to all aspects of design and production, it might be good to submit work from multiple disciplines if you have it. If the program is only focused on one area, such as lighting or management, it might be good to have a majority of your portfolio in whichever area you are applying for. I hoped this video was helpful and happy applying!